Travis Wayne Goodsoul. I've noticed a few things getting back online today. One is that I was under complete assault with thumbs down. And it just goes to prove, as I did in the video, that apparently they didn't watch, or they purposely did watch, because of what we're talking about here. Mormons are evil, and they will not stop being evil. When you confront them about their evil, they get angry and turn evil, want to hurt you, harm you. See, if they knew the truth, if any of you knew the truth, and somebody came and lied to you about Jesus, you wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't seek to murder them. You would know that they're wrong and that they're deceived. Maybe they're doing it purposely to try to gaslight you, to test you to see if you actually do have knowledge or if you have weak faith, to pull you away. But the only reason is when somebody threatens your family, threatens your life. That's where it crosses the line. But talking about Joseph Smith being a Jew rather than Christian, talking about the Danites and the real church history, Mormons should not be upset with me for it, unless they themselves are guilty, being the descendants of the Danites, who are seeking to overthrow this government, and who are keeping me from spreading the word. And so, the Book of Mormon, as I've been going over with you, as this video about the Gospels, after the learning of the Jews prophesying in the same manner that the Book of Mormon was written, you'll then catch on, hopefully, those of you who are innocent, are not Danites in utter denial and causing holy wars to demand that people accept their lies, that the Book of Mormon is prophesying of what's going to happen right now during this time of the latter days. And we're nearing the time where this is about to happen. And it's Mormon on Mormon that's going to be happening here, although there will be a civil war along with it, as a type and shadow pattern, because the United States is going to be destroyed by these group if the the U.S. Attorney General doesn't quit hesitating and fooling around. It's almost as if he's purposely causing all these delays so that, a special master? Dear God, you only do that for lawyers that get raided. Trump is not a lawyer. Yeah, and this could be delayed for years now. Warn people and they just don't listen, and then things happen, and then they don't want to remember that it was me who warned them in advance. So, Moroni, chapter 9. Verse 7. And now I write somewhat concerning the sufferings of this people, for according to the knowledge which I have received from Amoron, behold, the Lamanites have many prisoners. These are the Danite Mormons, as well as the people seeking, the kingmen of America, seeking to put Trump on the throne. And I know you love Trump, ignoring the book of Revelations, which you claim you love. You don't make the connection, just like Mormons don't make the connection, which they took from the Tower of Shazira, and there were men, women, and children, and the husbands and fathers of those women and children they have slain, and they fed the women upon the flesh of their husbands, and the children upon the flesh of their fathers, and no water save a little do they give to them. And then rape, in verse 9, depriving them of that which is most dear and precious. In verse 10, and after they had done this, they did murder them in a most cruel manner, torturing their bodies even unto death. And then after they did this, they then cannibalized them, devouring their flesh like unto wild beasts. Because of the hardness of their hearts, they do it for a token of bravery. Tiankum's javelin, right? We are witnessing Mormons behaving in this manner. If you're unaware of the sweet, innocent little girl,
just a gentleman, there is a town hall meeting in the dining area starting right now. If you would like to go, everyone is invited. Again, there's a town hall meeting in the dining area right now if you would like to go.
With the new guy, I can't trust to leave my stuff alone without locking it up. And I'd have to shut everything down and blah, blah, blah. And so, a sweet, innocent little teen girl, her peers, Mormon peers, have her come with them to a gully, a ravine, a creek, whatever it's called here in Utah. And she's unaware of what they're about to do to her. And they shoot her and leave her for dead. Shot her in the head. She survived. But these are your Mormons. The Mormon at the BYU events, sporting events, being a racist, as Mormons didn't protect that woman and allowed that guy to continue to do what he was doing. Yeah, those are clues of the type of behavior. Really? In Spanish. Those are clues. So, yeah, those are clues about the inner thoughts of the Mormons that are the rising generation here in Utah. They had to be taught this. They weren't born that way. Babies are innocent. Babies have to be taught. And in catching up, I was reminded of my youth, why I did not become a Danite Mormon. I should have. Both my parents were Danite Mormons. Strict and abusive and cruel and white supremacist. But it was because both my parents were that way that I rebelled against them. Being born and raised Mormon myself, I'm hearing all about Lucifer's plan of happiness, and I saw my parents mirroring it, and I wanted nothing to do with my parents. And so at that time, yeah, I'm thinking it's just isolated to my parents, that it's not the leaders. Over time, I knew better. But yeah, that's how I was able to turn away, is because I realized that the teachings of my parents are wrong. They're not in harmony with Mormonism. And it's sad to see it among Mormons. I moved to Utah, and dear God, I have never been so assaulted. Mormon after Mormon. Not just in the singles wards. But, yeah, this is going to get ugly, guys. And this shows you how ugly. And if you didn't catch on because you're not following my videos regularly to see the updates about what the church has been doing to me for years, that's what the church is doing. They're passing down the orders. I noticed that the Mormon YouTube employee got the hint, backed off today on his little game of cyber terrorism. Yep, we're definitely going to have problems with the new guy. And so, Yeah, this is the horror that we're going to have to expect. Because it's under Fall of the Great and Abominable Church. Yeah. In 1 Nephi chapter 22, verse 13. And the blood of that great and abominable church, which is the whore of all the earth, shall turn upon their own heads, for they shall war among themselves, Mormon on Mormon. And the sword of their own hands shall fall upon their own heads, and they shall be drunken with their own blood. And then it talks about every nation shall war against each other as well. Because America is likewise going to have war when the church has war. And if it doesn't happen before the election, it will happen during the election. Because they will deny the election results, as they're purposely tanking their chances of winning, but they did that in 2020 also. So, yeah, it's sad. Mormons, it's sad. And if you aren't scared, if you aren't an innocent person who thought that this was true like we all did until we found out the truth, you need to leave. You need to get out. Because this is going to happen. They are that evil. So please, I beg you, if you are an innocent Mormon who didn't know and understand, please leave the church. Please.